Yesterday, the woodpecker came every morning. Today, it is gone. The suet feeder is full. The yard is quiet. The trees are still. Nothing obvious has changed. And yet, something feels wrong. The bird that used to land on the same trunk, cling to the feeder, peck for a few seconds, pause, scan, and return again, has vanished. Most people ask the same question. Why did it suddenly stop coming? But the answer may be sitting right beside the feeder. A window. A missing branch. An exposed root. A dirty suet cage. A cat path under the shrubs. A nesting tree that suddenly became too stressful. One invisible danger can turn a trusted yard into a threat. And once a bird survives a scare, it may not return quickly. This is the warning of the vanishing visitor. The first mistake looks clean, beautiful, and responsible. A neat yard. Trimmed trees. Removed branches. No rough edges. No dead wood. To human eyes, it looks cared for. But to a woodpecker, a yard that is too clean can become empty. Dead wood is not waste to them. It is habitat. A dead branch can hold insects, grubs, beetle tunnels, soft wood, hollows, drumming surfaces, and future nesting possibilities. A safe snag can be a pantry, a drum tower, and sometimes a nursery. When every rough edge disappears, you erase the map they came for. A perfect-looking tree may offer very little to a woodpecker. Smooth bark, no cracks, no cavities, no loose places to probe, no soft dead wood to inspect the birdlands. Searches, finds little value, and flies away to wilder trees. Mistake 1. Making the yard too clean to be useful. The fix is not to leave dangerous limbs hanging over people, paths, roofs, or cars. Safety still matters. But if it is safe, do not remove every dead branch. Keep safe snags. Leave dead logs or rough wood in a quiet corner. Protect old bark, native plants, and insect-friendly structure. A safe snag can make the yard worth checking again. To the bird, rough wood is a door back into the yard. The second mistake can be deadly, even when your intentions are good. A suet feeder hangs near a bright window. The glass reflects trees, ski, and branches. To you, it is a window. To a bird, that reflection may look like open habitat. Birds do not understand glass the way humans do. A startled escape from the feeder can become a collision in less than a second. The bird launches from the suet, sees reflected trees, and flies toward what appears to be safety. Then the yard goes silent. Sometimes the bird does not disappear from dislike. It disappears from danger. If you see feathers near glass, treat it as an urgent warning. Mistake 2. Placing a feeder in the window danger zone. The fix is simple, but it must be done carefully. Move feeders either very close to windows or much farther away. Within 3 feet, birds usually cannot build enough speed for a high-impact collision. More than 30 feet away, they may better recognize the building as an obstacle. But do not leave feeders in the middle danger range. And placement alone may not be enough. Make the glass visible. Use outside markings, window decals, tape patterns, screens, external treatments that break the reflection where birds can see them. The goal is not decoration. The goal is survival. Move the feeder. Treat the glass. And do it before the next strike. The third mistake is placing food where the bird feels exposed. A suet feeder in the middle of open lawn may seem easy to see and easy to access. But to a woodpecker, open space can feel like danger. Woodpeckers like vertical cover, nearby trunks, fast retreat routes, places where they can land, wait, scan, feed, and escape. If the feeder feels exposed, the bird may land briefly, scan nervously, take one quick bite, and leave. Or it may stop coming. A hawk shadow crossing open lawn can turn the whole area into a trap. Mistake 3. Food without cover. The fix is to place suet near natural cover but away from window danger. A nearby tree trunk gives the bird a safe waiting room. It can stage on the bark, move to the feeder, then retreat quickly. When escape is easy, feeding becomes less stressful. But cover must be designed carefully. Cover should not become a predator ambush zone. A feeder hanging low beside dense shrubs where a cat can crouch is not safe cover. It is a trap with leaves around it. The best feeder site balances shelter with visibility. Vertical escape nearby. Clear sight lines. Treated windows. No predator hiding place directly beneath the food. Create cover for escape, not cover for ambush. The fourth mistake happens during nesting season. In spring, a woodpecker's calculation changes. It is no longer only thinking about food. It may be guarding a cavity, feeding young, or testing a nesting site. During nesting, woodpeckers need safe roots and high-energy food. But they also need distance. If you crowd the nest with a camera, walk too close to the nesting tree, or stand between the parent and the cavity, the yard can become unsafe, instantly. A parent with food in its beak may freeze behind a trunk. It may hesitate. It may wait too long before entering the cavity. That stress matters. Mistake 4. Turning nesting season into human disturbance. The fix is to give nesting birds distance and quiet. Watch from far away. Use binoculars. Keep children, pets, and repeated foot traffic away from active cavities. Offer clean suet and natural insect habitat, but do not turn the nest area into a stage. The goal is support, not interference. When pressure drops, normal parenting can resume. The fifth mistake is food that looks available but is unsafe. A dirty suet cage. Old food. Melted suet. Spoiled fat. Grime. Insects. A feeder that smells wrong or feels contaminated. A woodpecker may land, inspect it, and leave without feeding. Spoiled or dirty food can drive birds away and may risk disease. Mistake 5. offering food that no longer helps. The fix is basic, but important. Clean feeders. Replace old suet regularly. Use fresh food. Keep the cage stable. Place suet in shade when weather is warm, so it stays usable longer. Fresh food is a signal that the feeding station is worth returning to. A clean feeder says, "This place is still safe." The sixth mistake is constant disturbance. A busy patio. Kids running under the feeder. Loud tools. A leaf blower directly below the feeding route. Sudden movement every time the bird tries to approach. Even a good feeder can fail if the surrounding space feels chaotic. Woodpeckers can learn routines, but they struggle with unpredictable pressure. Quiet does not mean silent. It means readable. Mistake 6. Making the yard too unpredictable. The fix is to create a calmer feeding corner. A side yard. A tree line. A place with predictable human activity. Refill the feeder calmly. Move slowly. Avoid constant disruption near the feeding route. If the bird can predict the space, it may return. The seventh mistake is trying too hard to be close. You see the woodpecker once. Grab a camera. Rush outside. And walk directly toward the feeder. To you, it is excitement. To the bird, it may feel like pursuit. Direct approach can erase trust quickly. Mistake 7. Chasing the visitor until it vanishes. The fix is to watch quietly, use distance, and let the bird choose. Lower the camera. Step back. Observe from a window, a porch, or a respectful distance. The best trust grows when the bird controls the space. If it comes back after the yard becomes still, you may not have lost the pattern completely. So if your woodpecker disappeared, start with an emergency checklist. 1. Is the feeder facing dangerous glass? 2. Is it within 3 feet of the window, or more than 30 feet away? 3. Are the windows marked on the outside where birds can see them? 4. Did you remove every dead limb, snag, and rough piece of habitat? 5. Is there cover near food, but not predator ambush cover? 6. Is the suet fresh, clean, and appropriate for the season? 7. Are you staying away from nesting trees and fledglings? 8. Is the feeding area calm enough to feel predictable? 1 weak link can make a familiar bird stop returning. The fastest fix is often feeder placement. Stand where the bird lands. Follow the escape line with your eyes. Does the route point toward reflected trees and glass? Fix the glass immediately. Does the route lead to a nearby trunk? That is better. Does the feeder sit in open lawn with no vertical escape? Move it. Does dense cover hide a cat path? Change the setup. Think in routes, not objects. The feeder may be full, but the route may feel unsafe. Do a route audit before the next morning visit. Mark the invisible dangers before birds discover them the hard way. If you suspect a strike, fix glass first. A few random stickers may not be enough. The pattern must break the illusion. The goal is not to decorate the glass. It is to interrupt the false sky. Then restore the reason woodpeckers came in the first place. A log, a snag, a rough limb, native plants, insect habitat. These can restart the food map. Woodpeckers may not return to the feeder first. They may inspect the habitat first. Restore the reason to return. Then rebuild the feeding route. Fresh food. Clean station. Stable feeder. Shade when needed. A trunk nearby. Open view. Treated glass. No chase. No crowding. No sudden pressure. Space rebuilds trust faster than attention does. If nesting season is involved, the rules become even more serious. The wrong distance can cancel every good intention. Set a no-go zone around active cavities. Support parents without pulling them into human pressure. Do not stage manage while parenting. Let them feed. Let them return. Let them finish what they came to do. After the fixes, do not expect the bird to return instantly. The first sign may be distant observation. A woodpecker appears far away on a tree. Then a one-eye peek from behind the trunk. Then a landing on the staging tree. Not the feeder yet. Then one quick visit to the suet. A quick visit is a test result, not a full recovery. Do not celebrate by rushing outside. The first return is fragile. Protect it with stillness. If the yard stays safe, visits may grow longer. The bird may feed for a few seconds, then longer the next day, then long enough to pause, scan, and continue. Each safe outcome updates the bird's map. The return starts small, because survival never forgets danger quickly. So what drives woodpeckers away? Dangerous glass. Sterile yards with no dead wood. Exposed feeders with no safe route. Predator pressure near feeding stations. Human pressure near nests. Dirty or spoiled food. Sudden movement and constant disturbance. Fix those, and the yard may become trustworthy again. The vanishing visitor does not always vanish forever. It may recheck the same danger points that once mattered. A calm feeding session is the first real victory. Let the bird win confidence without performing for you. Do less chasing. Fix more habitat. Protection is not one product. It is a whole yard pattern. Food helps only when the route to food is safe. Dead wood helps only when it is safe to leave standing. Window fixes help only when birds can actually see them. Calm humans help when their behavior stays predictable. The yard becomes safe again when every piece supports the same message. Safe enough. And safe enough is what a wild bird needs to try again. Every continued peck is a vote for the repaired yard. The yard that lost the visitor can become the yard that earns it back. Earn the return by removing the reason it left. If it explores again, the habitat is becoming meaningful. If it drums again, the yard may be more than a feeding stop. If it returns again, the root is rebuilding. And the best thank you is restraint. So if your woodpecker suddenly stops coming, do not blame the bird first. Look at the yard like it does. Roots. Reflections. Ambush points. Missing structure. Food quality. Nesting pressure. Human movement. The vanishing visitor may be warning you before it disappears forever. Fix the danger. Rebuild the habitat. Give it a reason to return. And when it finally lands again, do not rush closer. Stay still. Watch quietly. Let the wild bird decide that your yard is safe enough once more.